Hi. Hello, people. It's been a while. A lot of people are quiet, and there's a reason for it. And I'll explain. And I'm going to give you a heads up of what we've been through. Hi. So if you hasn't come your way yet, you know what to expect. You'll be better prepared. So this is why I've been also sharing posts that'll help you. It all depends on your circumstances as well, and how difficult it's going to be for you, and where you are on your consciousness journey. Really. Hi. Hello. I miss everybody actually, because I'm not on that often, but it's for a very good reason. It's been a very, very difficult one. I must admit, one of the most difficult ones I've been through since I actually woke up. So since my lower chakras were rattled, when you first wake up, you go through the darkest, navigating what you want to say, the demonic realm, or however you want to say, the lowest of the low, and it's not fun. Well, this was just close. Well, it's not funny. Hi. And not funny. So yeah, I'm going to share a bit with you, but it's all, as the Buddhas say, you see, it's all about the mind. They call it the mind, the consciousness mind, the true essence. So we separate it and we say higher self and ego, or lower, so however you want to say. Hi. Nope, I didn't. So, haven't a clue. So yeah, it's been very, very tricky. Really tricky. Because really the mind, as the Buddhas say, is untamed mind is your worst enemy. And this is what basically everyone preaches if you listen to Abraham Hicks and everybody else. So what this does, this clearing... what this does, this clearing section, is really, 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 it was a difficult one. Wow. So you really drop down. And all your illusions, things that are blocking you, that you're even unconscious of. So it's been a really tough one. A lot of people are quiet. We've been, it was a difficult one. It's been some bumpy times. So things were brought up that you weren't aware of, right? But you can manifest, and you can be on a high, what do you want to say, high frequency, high light, high this, and then unaware that these things are there, you noticed, and then all of a sudden, boom, you come down to this big purge and big healing, and stuff comes up that you had no clue. So that's sabotaging you, because you weren't even aware you were holding these frequencies, that they were still in you. They haven't been moved out. So I'll go through. I mean, it depends on you. So they're going to come through things, self-sabotage, the childhood stuff, where you're blocking yourself, thoughts, toxic thoughts, as the Buddhas say, the untamed mind, that negative thoughts, negative feelings. I mean, because you literally are creating your reality. So if you see everything as within, so without. So if you have a pattern of viewing the world as bad and this and corrupt and bad, everything's always negative, toxic. This is what we perpetuated, this negative cycle on the planet, so we couldn't clear it. Hi guys. So it's been, I went through some, so you're going to drop down, and you're going to do some crying, and you're going to have these emotions coming up, and you're not why, and but you can be like this. So some of you will come up, you'll get upset, and as I've been sharing with you on my TikTok page, and then like, what the heck, stuff just comes up, and it's this comes up, and it's that. I found something interesting, doing all the affirmations with you guys really worked, and all these positive affirmations and mindset, and you trained your frequency, and you reprogrammed your mind. So we did all that. That was good, but then nothing is, to an extent, things weren't happening. Why? Because underlying, there's stuff there that you've had since a child that you weren't aware of, and this is what happened to me. And it came up that I was not there for myself. It was funny. And some of this stuff, I'm going to give you a heads up. That's why I'm sharing this stuff with you. I'm sharing my ass kicking with you. So you know what to expect, and you won't feel alone. And you can kind of then, okay, so if it happens, you can kind of figure out what's happening to you, and you don't panic, because you can get into fear. Fear's going to come up. Ooh, it's like saying all your what it's good really is you're dropping back into the mind again, the ego, and the ego almost has full reign, and the starts terrorizing you. Oh, and does it play with you? So your mind, that's why I shared so many things I've been sharing on TikTok to help you. So now if you have a lot of trauma already in the physical vessel and whatever else, you're going to have a really tough time, very tough time, to try and keep the nervous system calm while you're doing this, because you're going to be put through that, and it's going to trigger you. It's going to get that nervous system, and you're in the mind won't be quiet, and it's all that shit, that toxic thoughts, your negative patterns, and it's past. It's like a rewind. It just comes at you. So this is why I shared a lot of qigong and tai chi when it really works, and I've been doing it. Grounding, whatever you can, and you feel exhausted when you finish. It feels like you've been through a boxing ring. I mean, you just emotionally, physically, and mentally exhausted. It's a very difficult clearing. Yeah, I don't know if I've been through many of them, but this one was like, oh man. Well, so one of the things that popped up was so weird. It was like, and this goes back. What we don't realize, it came to me today, like another aha moment came out, a big clearing came out today. It's in our DNA. So you have you've picked up a lot of your parents' fears, your ancestors' fears, which is actually you inherited in your DNA or picked up from them. So a lot of this, you're not even aware you're holding these frequencies and fears and baggage that you're not aware of. And it's actually been passed down, it's ancestral. So I did a big clearing today, and I saw it come. You saw the DNA being, sorted out. So it's genetically, you've inherited some of these genes, whatever. So your parents could have had a negative fear, it's passed down. So this fear, this negativity, these toxic thoughts, this victimhood, whatever. You see, it's passed on to you, and you had no clue. So you're carrying this rubbish around. Oh man, and like the one about me not being there for me. Wow, it was painful, because they weren't, your parents weren't there for you, because they, had trauma, and their parents were, as I'm saying, is stuff. So what you didn't realize, you just were used to it. You were used to not being there for yourself. It was just because nobody was ever there for you, and things, all kinds of stuff. And where you let yourself down, where you're not there for yourself. So self-sabotage, it's really stuff. I mean, everything that you're unaware of, that you've hidden, that's hidden to you, right? The ego. So you're not even aware that you're trying to deny, that's a shadow that you're unaware, or it's an illusion, is what I'm saying. Where you're self-sabotaging yourself, where these things are hidden from you, where it's stopping you from moving forward, where you've got blocks, negative patterns, thoughts. I mean, so the thing is, you drop out of the high frequency and connectiveness. So you drop into this lower, the mind. So you're not in the connective mode, for one. So you're not even realizing sometimes, ding, 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 because you're in the lower consciousness. So you're not putting together, okay, there we are, as within, so without. You're not as aware, what's going on, is stuff happening, and you're like, oh my gosh. So a lot comes up. All the nasties, so all your, negative, you get tired. It's like your mind, the negative thoughts. So you can understand why you created, if you want to say, kind of hell for yourself. Because if your mind is constantly expecting the world, seeing the world as within, so without, right? So this come down from ancestry, family, who knows. But you are walking around, especially now, with what's going on, right? Oh, the world's this and that, and then the government this and that and that and that and that and that. But that's a perception and a perspective. It might be so, but if we're constantly focusing on, as everyone has focusing on the present as is, we're not going to change it. We're not manifesting. And remember, as within, so without. So if you've got seeing the world as a toxic place, and it's coming within, and you're going to keep, and the universe will. Back that up, is going to verify or give you, look, it's toxic. You see, we all know that about manifesting what you expect. So if you expect and see that, I know it's a hard thing, but you just get sick of it. You don't want, you want positive thoughts. You don't want your mind to be tormenting you and negative and worrying and fear and da. It's really, really, so yeah, you get sabotaged by the mind. Yeah. Whoa, the mind sabotaged you. So basically the mind was given free rein, and you kind of see what you've been doing, your mind has been up to, like, and your mind terrorizes shit out of you. So then you go to this terrible fear, and you feel it, and you're in a low frequency. So it's almost like, it's say, going through your darkness. You're facing your own darkness, your things, your thoughts. It's really in that, all that shit. Ew. So it's coming out, even comes out in your dreams. You can see it coming out of your DNA. I noticed today when I did a big clearing, it was the same thing. It's because going back to the parents and, family victimhood, abuse, all kinds of stuff comes out. So they had this, you have this victim, oh, the world's terrible, everyone's out, whatever, you're expecting the worst, this fear, all this baggage, really. As the Buddha say, you don't want a negative mind. You want a mind to be at peace. You want a mind to expect the best, to see the best, to only have loving, kind thoughts. Otherwise, your mind, that shadow gets away, and the shadow is going to start judging and criticizing people and being nasty before you. That's what I'm saying. Ooh, man, it's like this. It's like, wow. And you're trying to get in it, get the mind back, and it's almost like you felt like a tennis ball. And you've been smacked around a tennis court, boom, boom, and then you try and center the mind. No, go away now. It's like it was like your ego had free range to pick on you and terrorize you and give you all the negative, worst thoughts and fear and monger. And well, so staying centered and grounded was trying to stay calm and stay centered and keep the mind quiet was fun. Fun. And as you're going through all this shit's coming up, and as I said, then today I sat there, then you realize, yes, you want to be freed from the mind. You want to, as I say, control. You want to have to master the mind. That's the whole thing that Buddhism is about. And anyone in this path is to learn to master, because then you've mastered your frequency and vibration, because you have control of your thoughts, control of your emotions, control of your life. Then it's not this just happening because it's, your ego is sabotaging you, and you're having these nasty thoughts and judgmental or duality. You're in this whole, lower frequency. You're back down there. It's really, no, that's also a perception. Negative perception. So everything, as they say, is loving kindness. So if you stay out of the no thought, no judgment, and all you see, because that's what I'm saying, duality. You want to get out of there. Everything is one. There's oneness. You love everybody because everything and everyone is you. But when you drop lower into into this game, now you're dropping into clear this, you're dropping into duality again, of course, and it's like you're in and you're in that, what I call, in a nice way of putting it, everything is shitty and judgmental and fighting and politics, and you're really in it, and the divide, and then you're busy clearing, and it's child did this, and self-sabotaging, and overeating, and whatever, all this shit. Wow. And your nervous system is like trying to keep that thing calm, and your mind, wow. So it is difficult. I'm not going to lie to you, it was, wow. I mean, I'm physically, at the moment you're in a rest, you are just like buggered. You buggered. Physically, emotionally, and the body as well, because it's you're really doing a big clear, a big purge. So it's a lot of individual things, and then it's the mind thoughts. But I also asked for that. So today I sat in a big meditation, and I asked also very clearly to be cleared from the DNA and the cellular structure, because that's really where it's held in the physical body. So the DNA, oh yeah, I'm getting there. I'm going to take some rest. It'll take me some while, because honestly I had my ass kicked. But remember, I've also had a lot of trauma stored in this body, damage done to the physical vessel. So as I say, it depends on the person. My, body had hit 2 breakdowns, physical, stroke, heart attack, just that. Massive trauma, you name it. What was stored in this vessel? And the mind, that's what I'm saying. You realize it comes from parents, it comes from ancestors. So all of this shit, it builds up. Then you can understand why we manifested this nonsense in the planet, because if you're carrying all that and your mind is going around and all this kind of nonsense is really, it is really, really, really not fun. So it wasn't, at at all fun. But it's a good thing, because then you realize, oh my gosh, and you have no clue. It hits you like a wet blanket. Ding, you know. I was in the shower the one day, and I'm showering. Next minute, this just comes up, and I burst into tears. And it's like nobody's, you know, that you're not there for you. Nobody was there for you. And yes, you are. You know, you're going to be there for you. You are worth it. You didn't realize it. You might be saying it, and it was so subconscious that you had this thing that you weren't worth it because nobody was ever there for you. You see, and you weren't there for you. Oh, wow, shit just come. I promise you, people, stuff comes up. Whoa. So it really is bringing out, I mean, this journey is like that. And, you know, so if you have a lot of stuff in your closet, in your ancestry, in your DNA, trauma and stuff in the physical body, wow, that's why I say to people, you have my compassion. It's terrifying. It's terrifying. It can be really terrifying because it's going to it's going to put you in a state again, because it'll overact. That's why I said grounding, and I shared those qigong things. And even I was doing them. I shared them for a reason. Yeah, it's so difficult. And I shared some of those Tai Chi Qigong ones, and I did one, and I've tried them. They really are, and I finished them, and I was like, oh. Because it brings you back into the body when you've had no sleep, and the mind's been overactive, and you're like, your nervous system is going, and the mind is attacking, you know, it's really, you're in a dark place. That really helps you. So I shared those, and you do the Tai Chi Qigong because you're moving. So you're physically moving the energy as well. And it brings you back into the present moment and into the body. So you connect back to the body, you ground, and it really helps keep you centered, grounded, and, you know, it calms the nervous system. I shared a lot on my page the last week or two to help people. Many screenshots of many videos and things that'll really, you know, and literally you get to the point, and if you do, you do. I mean, my only thing for me is to master that, because it really is like nothing else matters. If you do not master the mind, as the Buddhists say, or anyone says, you know, reach that level where it's not you going like this, where you actually now stay in a state of awareness and presence, and you're out of duality, then you're not going to be, you know, dragged in. You're not affected by what happens. You're not affected, and you're not going to ever be a victim of anything, because you're in a constant state of presence and calm. So as within, so without. So it will be reflected on the outside. And you're not going to create any shit in your life and draw any nonsense, or manifest any nasty things and think nasty. You know, you want love, kindness, compassion. I've shared, look on my page. I shared lots of screenshots. There's many different ones. I shared. People can pick what they like. Choose whichever they want to do. Depends on the person. So there's many there. Wow, and I tell you what, did I have some fun though. Oof. So tired. I mean, you just get to a point where it doesn't matter what, and you realize it. It doesn't matter what happens. The most important thing. Because if you know, as within, so without. When you're inside, you're happy, calm, content, and you've got that, the outside will reflect it. So it doesn't point. People keep trying to fix the outside. You want things to change. You want a boyfriend. You want a house. You want this. You want that. And if the inside, if you're not happy, if you have stress, or if you have fear and things, it doesn't matter what the hell you've got on the outside. You're not going to be happy, or you're going to have stress or fear. You know what I mean? You don't want to be terrorized. You want control over the mind, because then you have control over your emotions. You have control over everything, a manifestation, whatever. So it is really going through this, and the aim is just to keep going. But I can't lie, it was very difficult because of what I've been through. Ooh. Well, you know, when you're in that, you're like, you're just like, nah, I'm tired of this, you know, I'm quite happy to go now, bye. Just like, I'm too tired, I can't do this anymore, kind of thing. You go to a stage where you're like, yeah, you know. So yes, and also for me it was because of, as I say, what I've put this physical body and mind through. Wow. So you know, it's, well, it was, yeah. But as I say, I'm going to keep going, because for me, you know, you got to come back. Otherwise, you come back in the next life, and guess what? You pick up the same frequency, the same nonsense where you left off. And I am not. You get to the point where if you don't tame your mind, what your thoughts create, I don't want to create. You want to see this beautiful world. You want heaven on earth. I want heaven on earth. I want to manifest moo. So, you know, and you cannot unless it's as within, so without. Never do what? Deborah, never do what? I don't know what you're saying. Never do what? Sheila, it's been a bumpy ride. What can I say? No one can make anybody a promise. Oh, not be here. Well, I really wasn't here. So been that one. I was tired, my dear. This poor physical, I'm surprised I'm still here, let me tell you. Wow, I'm very surprised. But I do my best. And even with whatever, so I might battle in some areas, but I will always do whatever I can in others, you know. But you physically, the body, it was holding a massive amount of, you know, a lot of damage and things and energy and, you know. So I did. I mean, I left the planet because of all this shit that was done, and physical and damage was done to my body in many ways. So yeah, for me, and all that stuff is stored in there. So now, of course, when you've got to process it now, and let me tell you, there's a lot of shit to come to get through. And then I see it goes back to ancestors, my parents. I'm like, oh my. So today was a big clearing out, setting them free. I wanted it to clear through my DNA, my cellular structure, mind, body, the brain. I've asked them to rewire, because you want your neurons. You want so you don't want the mind wired in negative thoughts. I've done a lot of work on myself. And affirmations, I've been teaching people. I did all of that work. And a lot for a bit. And the meditations, quieten the mind. That, you know, if it keeps going back and digging up this shite, if it's not going to be clear, you know, oh no. It's like, oh no. No. You want to get rid of it, because it'll just come up. You know, it'll just come up again. It's going to, or you're going to pick up that frequency in the next body, because that's where you left off. So I'm like, no, I'm not doing this. I want this thing over. I want to master this, the mind. You know, you want it. So you sit there every day, and you're going to sit in that silence, boy, and you're going to train that mind. I've been there, I've done it, because you want to be able to, yeah, manifest as within, so without, and that is so important. If you, whatever's in here is exactly what the world you're going to create. You're not, I'm not doing the world a favor as well if it's negative or anything bad, because then I'm keeping this energy and shit, you know, on the planet. You want to manifest heaven on earth. I want to help that. I want to hold that, project that, so it goes out into the field. And not the same shit that everyone else is, oh, this, that, yeah. Because then we're just manifesting the same negativity, the same outcome, if we expect it. Healing myself brought me to this journey. Enough, yeah, to get better, trying to heal myself. No, that's what I'm saying. Breathing, grounding, massively, but in nature, like absolutely, that calms the body. If you can go sit in nature, barefoot somewhere, doesn't matter, on a tree stump, whatever, with half an hour shoes off, holding the tree stump, hugging the tree, and completely no thought. Do the breathing and then you'll see it. Like, shh. Getting out of the mind is the only way you do it. Is getting out of the physical mind into the nothingness, as the Buddhists say. That's what I'm saying. There is no resistance. That fear, anxiety is all resistance. It's all ego. You haven't transcended. When you're in that, you're not out of the mind, you see. And then you're not sleeping because the mind's too active as well, because the nervous system's in overdrive. So you're awake. It's just freaking fun. So that's why I just said, no, I'm not doing this. I want it over with. You know, this life, next life, I am not doing this anymore. We are mastering this thing. So, you know, suck it up, buttercup, because you don't want to suffer anymore. I'm not going back there. No. We're not doing that again. You know, if you've been through the ringer, you don't want to go back there. It was like, no ways you want to go backwards. Oh, no. That is just, as I say, that's hell. You want heaven. You don't want to go back to hell. Being in that hell in the mind and the fear and the, that's being in the ego, in duality, in the mind and the, no. Peace. Where you stay in that nothingness and in that light. What does it say? The pure light or the pure awareness. When you're in that state of pure awareness, oh my gosh, it's just, that's it. And you can have that permanent state if you train the mind. It's transcending the mind, mastering the mind. And that's why the Buddhists chant, and that's why they sit in meditation every day or more than once a day. No, I shared the screenshots. Laurie Ashcare. If you go to my my TikTok page, you'll see more. I made one video and there's about 18 screenshots of different ones. I've shared them so many times already on TikTok. Tell people. There's many different ones. So, and it shows you the name, so you can easily find and search the channels. For stress, for fear, for anxiety, for different people, different things. Suits, everybody's different. But it really does help because you energy is, we forget, the body, your cells are just energy. So it doesn't help you trying to do just meditation if you're not addressing the actual physical body, the energy. You've got to shift the energy. And that's what the tapping and the qigong or tai chi is, and the sound, vibration, the different sounds. So I've shared many, many screenshots over quite a while now for people to try them out. And then you will just try one out. But if you've never done it before, you've got to be in a relaxed state because you've got to close your eyes and you flow. So if you know how to do it, you've got to feel, because you're focusing where your energy, when your energy goes where your focus is, right? So if you like say doing the ball, you've in your mind you are seeing the energy, the light ball, and while you're pulsing it in front of you, you see. So you're using your awareness to be aware of your energy, like you would if you are doing meditation and stuff and sending energy or doing energy healing, right? That's when it really works. So you're moving it, you're visualizing the energy clearing from the body. With your mind, focus energy or visualization, and so good, and it so works. So tapping, I've shared once for tapping, I've shared once for qigong to shift, move, purge, tonify. It moves the stagnant, blocked energy out the body, calms the nervous system down. There's quite a few there, and trust me, they'll work. But don't just do it once, because if you already are, if you're not used to this and you haven't learned to do the transcendental meditation, what will help you if you've got an overactive nervous system is to put on music. I've shared, Laurie, this will help you if you've got an issue. If you go to my YouTube channel, there's a video, go right down the videos, there's a video that says all the benefits of transcendental meditation. That's it. Now that teaches you how to do this meditation, to get out of the mind. It's not just sitting there, and just, when you're trying to like relax, people think that's meditation. If you're sitting there like just trying to relax, that's mindfulness. Not really. Now it gives you the sounds, it gives you music to do it. Under my video, I shared links. There's a guide how to do this meditation. There's music that you can put on, because you either use theta waves, frequency, gosh, my mind's gone blank now. Beta, whatever you call them again. You can use that. I've got a very good one, which is similar. So if you focus on the sound, that really helps, because otherwise the mind is busy. And then you visualize, whether you visualize, the crown opening up and you see a light, or you visualize it down. Anyway, there's a guided thing. There's the test there to show you what it does to the brain, the mind. It's really, really good. Stanford University did a study for PTSD to show what it does when you transcend the mind. So what happens when you do this meditation? When you actually get into that state, you'll feel it, because you'll actually feel the body will start tingling. It's almost like, but just before you astral project. So it's practice, you keep doing it, and what you're doing is focusing your awareness outside your body. That's the difference. So I've shared, I shared a link to all he guides you through this. And if you pay attention and listen to it, it describes exactly how to do this meditation. It's amazing. And when you get out of that mind thing, oh my gosh, what happens is it's in sync. So your heart-brain coherence, basically, but all parts of your brain then are working together. First time ever. They show you with the test, are working together in sync. Yeah. And that's when they say you see a light, or they want to call source light, angelic light, whatever you, depending on what your beliefs are, that's what you will see and experience, you see. Because it will manifest, show in a way to you that you will understand or grasp, okay, that's Jesus, or that's source, or that's God, or whatever. So you'll know, anyway. But that presence, that light, that feeling, that it's a bit overwhelming first time. It's a love like you've never felt. That's a love of yourself. For yourself. It's amazing. So there we are. But yeah, practicing, if you do that meditation every day, it trains your mind. Especially in the morning. It trains it quiet, and so it trains your mind to be quiet. It trains you to stay in that present. So you're rewiring the brain, really. And then it depends if you want to go further out of meditation as well. You listen to music, it's going to stay calm. You try and stay out of the mind. So you try and keep your brain permanently. You don't try, but it's like you're meditating while you're awake. So you constantly, it's like remote viewing or tapping in, even though you're walking around and doing things. Yeah. It depends, yeah. Well, you see, I do the transcendental. I want to get that, that 0 point focus, they say. And you go into a deep trance. You do leave your body. Well, eventually, but I did. I was there, yeah. And you go into, you can feel it. You're not even aware. You say you're focused. You move your consciousness out of your physical body. Wow, that's complete relaxation. That is like complete, yeah. It's so calming, it's so relaxing. And you'll feel your entire body relaxes to a level that you didn't even realize you weren't relaxed. It shows you have no clue how much tension you're holding in your body until you actually transcend it. Wow, and then you realize, wow, I haven't done this for weeks, or it's really, wow, hectic, very. So there we are. It's a bumpy ride, people. Wasn't expected, actually, because I mean, you do this when you first wake up. You go to all the, you fight your own what you think are external darkness or demons and entities and whatever. You fight all that nonsense, and you don't think you're going to have a round 2 of it. I was like, kind of, actually. But it's you. This is what I'm saying. This is how much your mind is, as the Buddhists say, it's how dangerous the mind is when the mind is just let to roam free, and we listen to it and we believe it, and we think all those thoughts are ours and we identify with them, and it starts off, and then you're like, no, don't, yes, no. If you just ignore the thing as though it's like a record, if you pretend your mind, you're listening to a show or a TV, so those thoughts, instead of thinking them as yours, if you just like listen into them, like play the awareness, and you can hear your mind, and your mind saying, ooh, and you're observing the mind, the thoughts, and then you hear it. It's really nasty. Oh, that one. Oh, she's probably this, and oh no, don't believe that. Oh, and it just goes. It's really. I shared it. If you go to my YouTube page, down my YouTube videos, you'll see a video that says all the benefits of transcendental meditation, and the links to do it, music's there, everything. And you practice that every day until you get it right. If you listen to that man, to exactly what he says, easy peasy. With no expectations, you just relax, chill, it's exciting, just like be open, just here we are. You'll be 100% guided and safe. It's lovely. It's just, when you wake up at your own shadows, it represents itself in funny forms. Because we don't understand, we haven't been taught what those things mean, So it shows itself as an entity. It doesn't mean it's an entity. That's a jealousy. That's this. That's whatever. No. Go to my YouTube page. I mean my TikTok. Sorry. Go to my LA Eddie. Go to my TikTok page, and you'll see there's a link. There's a link tree bio. And just under my bio, there's a link there. Click on that, and it'll take you directly to there's a link there to go right to my YouTube channel. All the videos are there. And then quite far down, because it's one of the earlier ones I did, was explaining all the benefits of transcendental meditation with the Stanford University's researchers there, the guide how to do it's there, the music's there. There we are. It rewires the brain. It's amazing. And it literally does. And this is what the Buddhas do. They call single-pointed focus, or 0 point, or reaching the 0 point they talk about. Or single-pointed focus, mindfulness, that awareness, pure awareness. Same thing. It's all just different words for a state of consciousness. It's transcending stopping all thought, and then you focus on it, you keep focusing on that nothingness, and you ignore that, off the mind goes, and then, oh look, you're teaching a thing to be quiet. And it's amazing, because then when you do it, it's so quick. Then you can just do a bit of breathing, and you'll be like that, in that state. So it's so fast to get into that state. If you do it every day, it's so worth it. Wow. Yeah. So there we are. I'm like, I want, you definitely want to get back there, because, the mind is your only thing. It's the only thing that, it is all that is, actually, because this is what's creating it. It's the filter, really. It's really the filter, if you think about it, because if you can cut this ego, the filter out, which is all the nasty, the shadow, all the shit you've accumulated by when you dropped into duality, or this single pointed focus, I am this person, when you've been playing people, that's the terrible, that's all the nasty, the judgment, the hate, the anger, the fear, everything that's not pleasant is there. The real you, the real source, the real higher self, the creator, is absolute love, peace, calm, bliss, which you see those people are in a state of when they reach that, like Jesus, the Dalai Lama, all those people. When you transcend the mind, you get back into that. Wow. And you can stay in that presence, in that state. Your energy goes to the roof, your frequency goes to the roof. You are just in a constant state of calm, as within, so without, peace, love, and understanding and wisdom. I mean, you're in that, you've transcended this, you're in the all. Yeah. You're not in the single consciousness, you're in the universal, really. Yeah. You are aligned, connected with all, coherent. So basically, if you want to say energy, your energy is in coherence with the field. Absolute coherence. Oh. So nice. So yeah, I've been having some fun. Oh shit, I tell you what. It was like, oh, wow. And it's been a tough one, let me tell you. Really, really tough one. I can't say it was fun. I mean, especially, I was amazed at this body. I'm still tired, but I'm like, hey, still going, because I'm just like, I'm not doing this again. No. But it's difficult. But then I have my days, you just do what you can. Do what you can, There we are. You make do. So I have, but you're tired, just tired afterwards. But it is now. I had a very good meditation today, a huge clearing. So it went through ancestors, DNA, cellular structure, the grid, the brain. You saw the actual changes. I want it cleared from the cache, from the grid. So it's reflected. So when you pop all realms, all dimensions, all time, space. So you're helping, remember, it's what you're clearing now, it will affect my past, because everything happens now. So my ancestors, my parents. So you're relieving them from that shit, because you wouldn't be change the past, you change the present kind of thing, whatever. Because if I wouldn't be this person, I would have to have a different past. So you're helping many, many fractals of yourself, many versions of yourself. You're shifting, you're healing timelines, really. Yeah. So, and also the brain, you don't want this thing constantly. I mean, and the only person that suffers, as they say, is yourself. If you have negative thoughts and negative emotions, you suffer. You create your own, nightmare on the planet. And you get stuck in this little rat race of a nightmare, and it's not fun, let me tell you. Not fun. I mean, it got me to off the planet. It was like, no. So yeah, because you're not aware. Because it's a different level of consciousness. You have no clue. And once you've been up there and you drop down again, he's like, wow, this is not fun, people. It's not fun. You are aware. At least you know the difference. At least you know, okay, yeah. You know. But you can. You'll start worrying, and then, you know, it does that to you, the mind. That's what I say. You'll start thinking it's you, or you dropped, you're not going to get back. Your mind will start, eventually, you know, you just like ignore the thing. It's like, no, just. You will. That's why I shared music for you to listen to. So there's music, there's stuff, anything and everything to calm the mind, quieten the mind, the thoughts. Especially not social media and scrolling. Because it stimulates, I don't know what they're doing. I think there's also algorithms, or I think there's maybe there's stuff in there that we're unaware of, which has been tested on humanity. But certainly these videos, and they're pulsing the light. Because you can scroll on TikTok for a while, and you can come off and you're going to feel highly stressed. Your nervous system is highly overactive. And it wasn't to do with content. So I think it's actually the light that's being pulsed. Or subliminal something going on in the background that you're unaware of. Which is triggering and heightening and yeah, something. So I noticed that. I noticed that if I can sit and scroll on TikTok, say for half an hour, ooh, and your energy is going to be really bad, and you're going to be in a really bad way, and you're not sure why. There's something going on. So to watch, so that's what I say, be careful of what you watch. You know, you might not be aware of it. It doesn't have to be negative content, but you're absorbing something. There's frequencies and vibrations and shit. Who knows the technology? So yeah, I listened to music without sound is a good one. Frequency is important. And there's things that will help you, that are positive, that will teach you, that will help you understand. So I've shared many teachings as well, channels of teaching which helps you. And there's one or two very good guided meditations there from Plum Village, which will help calm you big time when you're in a bad spot. If you put that on, if you want to sleep, and before you sleep, and it will really soothe that nervous system. It's a very good grounding meditation to calm you down if you're having a really bad day, or say you had a bit of a wobbly. Will help you. What do you mean get dropped? What do you mean get dropped? When you're going through this, you almost like what they call go through a blackout phase where you disconnect. You feel disconnected because you're in a very dark, dense energy frequency. You're purging, and everyone sort of steps back, and you have to figure out what you need to heal or whatever. Go through it. You can call in when it's now you know what it is. You can then you call in help for the healing, or help for whatever. Just call in help when you need it. I need help with this. I need help for clearing. I don't do readings, sweetie. Sorry, but I've been just doing free guidance for humanity for 2 years now. This is on a collective level. It's not an individual level. This is to help people, through this time. You're nothing to be sorry about. Nothing to be sorry at all. If you want readings, there's many people on here. There's a young girl, Manon, who I did a live with. I've shared their stuff. A couple of other people. You can ask. No problem. I'm going to be sorry. I know it's funny. No problem, people. Not a problem. So there we are. I just thought I'll share that with you. Because a lot of us, so if it comes up, because we're not all going through at the same time, there's a good reason why we're not going through it. So it's going through like a collective of us, and then we come out. And then another group of people are going to start going through it. So people on this higher consciousness path, awakened path, it'll come to you sooner or later. If you go to my TikTok page, go down my videos, not long down the video, and you'll see there's there's a live with a girl called Manon. There we are. You'll find her details there, okay? Because when you're off here, I won't be able to remember your thing. Once the live ends, the messages don't stay there, so I can't see your messages and things. So yeah. I think her tag is serpent medicine, but you'll see who it is. I tagged her in it as well. She's got black hair, pretty girl. There we are. She's very good. Talented young lady. You're very welcome. Train to ask yourself to go within. Hi, hello. Train yourself. When you start doing this, you start practicing and you do ask. And you just start more and more you practice and ask and go here and remote view. You'll get more. The more you use it, the better it gets. So same with asking questions and, same, whatever you want. Before you go to sleep, set the intent and ask or show me, please, very clearly what it is I need to learn, heal, clear. Or if you don't want to go down the door, close the doors. Any door you don't want to, that you shouldn't be going down, slam that door closed. Make sure I don't take. So you just have to be, remember, free will. If you want whatever you want, help with, not guidance, this, that, say it. Unless you ask for the help or something specific, you're not going to get it. So I normally say, look, just make sure if there's more than one option that I don't take the wrong path, slam that door closed. And the path I'm going to take, make sure I take the right path. There's no ways I'll take the wrong one. Close the door if it's not the best option or whatever. Make sure that, yeah. So just ask if it's unsure. All you have to do is ask. So think about it. It's like talking to yourself, what do you want? Please do this, make sure I don't. Make sure you close that door then. I don't take the wrong option or the I found that helps. Hi Melissa, I'm not doing any I'm not doing readings. This is collective. This is a collective. This is what we're going through as part of this raising in consciousness. So as you raise in levels of consciousness, as your energy goes up, no problem, through your body system, chakra systems, it's cleaning out. It really is your DNA too. It's cleaning out trauma, past ancestors, past lives, patterns, behaviors, habits, you name it. It also depends on you. Unsavory behavior. Yeah, well, it depends on you if you're looking for that. If you're looking to work your way up and you're wanting to heal, clear, depends on what you're seeking for. To become a better person, to ask and it is given. So if you want to, if things that are blocking you, fears, want them removed, something that's blocking you from moving forward, you ask for that clearing to be shown, and it will be shown and cleared. I mean, I've been having such fun, let me tell you. Because I ask, okay, please, and I'm tired of this, and same with that negative pattern of thoughts. You don't want this, you want, and you really mean it. You ask them, and you try, you keep at it as well, and it'll come. You'll get your clearing and stuff, but it doesn't mean it's going to be easy. You just got to release all that stuff. Yeah. It depends. You seek to change. If you recognize, you seek to change patterns or behaviors or habits or judgment or any what you consider you would not want to be anymore. Yeah, then you seek to change to become, literally, when you've reached that unity consciousness, you know that all is one, one is all. So you want to, and you've been there, you could say you want to stay there. You know that, you know what I mean? You want to stay in that place of unity, of love, of, there is no judgment, there is no hate, there's no negative anything, any feeling, any thought, anything. There's only love, pure love. It's such an amazing, you transcend all this shit. That's it. So so you want to try and clean up, you want to stay in that state, which is transcending the mind. Yeah, I think, but to do that, you got to clean up the bucket you've been carrying with you for how many centuries of shit. So it's to lighten what they call, to get into higher frequencies or higher states of being or higher dimensions, right? We've got to drop all the shit it's us. We're the ones who's carrying all that stuff, but we're not aware of it. So now all the shit, to become light like a feather, you got to drop the fear, the anger, the hate, the jealousy, the judgment, the trauma, the this. I mean, wow, does it start coming up? Past lives. I mean, it just, everything, childhood. attachments. You know, you can see patterns if you look closely. Then it starts getting into patterns of behavior, thoughts, negative. You know, even like overeating, anxiety, whatever bad habits, all any kind, everything. It's all coming out. So whether you had physical things or that aren't good for you, eating patterns that aren't good for you, I mean, you name it. That's it. It's really, you know, wow. No, they're not hard to break. There we are. You see, what you believe, Laurie, what you think, say, and believe is what happens. So understand that your innate is listening to you. Your body is intelligent. Your cells are conscious because it's energy. They're pure energy. So your higher self, you can speak, make it like a triangle. So your higher self, the mind, the ego, the conscious you, which you think you are. This is your name, Laurie. Okay, this is Laurie. Yeah, there's the higher self. Now the innate, the smart body. Think of it as a computer. If you really want to stop something, I stopped smoking like that after 40 years. It was the easiest time I've ever had stopping smoking. And I've done it before and it was not easy. This was a piece of cake. Why? Because it took me about 2 weeks of like, yeah, I want to stop. I'm going to stop because I know it's also thought and you're talking to yourself. So basically I spoke as I already had. I've stopped smoking, but I was still smoking. And I didn't really have that motivation. And eventually I thought, no man, stuff this is not working. I want to stop smoking. So I sat down and I meant it. And I spoke to my higher self and my guides and I said, look, that's it. I really want to stop smoking. Now I'm serious and I want to, so let's do it, you know. Anyway, I can't do it. And I said, but obviously you know what, the first 3 days is a chemical withdrawal, a physical. It's like food, cravings. If you go and eat sugar or binge now, you'll crave sugar tomorrow, the next day. For 3 days, you're going to crave, say today you have pizza, carbohydrates, sugar. Whatever you ate today, your body is going to crave it for 3 days. So I spoke to my innate and I said, okay, no problem, but make it as though I have never, and I meant it. So you're talking telepathically to your higher self at the same time and my cellular structure. And I said, make it as though I have never started. So there's no craving. It was literally, you'll stop and as though it was like you've never started. You'll have no, and I asked you, speak to your body, that you will have no cravings, anything. And I've shared the story. It's amazing. And I was about to go to the shop and I'd spoken to them and I knew it was going to happen. I knew it was just going to be like that 1 minute you're just going to say, okay, that's it, I've stopped, and your last smoke. And I think I had about 2 left and I was about to go to the shop to go and buy some more. And I had a chat. I knew it was going to happen. I was going to stop. I was just waiting for that go ahead, it's like that inner voice or that higher self that says, okay, that's it. You'll know. And I sat down, I had one shoe, I put one shoe on and I was busy tying up the other shoelace and I got this voice, we've stopped smoking. The knowing, like I was told, we've stopped, that's it. And I was like, oh wow, okay, there we are. And I was given the right, it's time now, it's a done deal. And I took the shoe off, put the cigarettes down. I threw them away eventually, they were in the cupboard, put them in the cupboard, and never picked up another cigarette again. And it was like, till this day, I've forgotten. It was cleared. It was like it was cleared for my consciousness. I don't even remember. I don't think about it. Like even when I stopped, it was like, yeah, you remembered and you smelled it. Oh, that's nice. I do not miss it. It was like I have, and as I asked, because I meant it, it was like I had never smoked. No, it's not free will. This is you talking, you working, you're making it easy. You're doing it in an intelligent way. You are working with your innate, which is your smart body. Your body cells are conscious, as Dr. Bruce Lipton says. They listen to you. No joke, eh? It'll help you with your diet. You can ask your body as well, and you will just go and ask, okay, what's best to eat? You can ask your body to take you shopping, your cellular. Your higher self will guide you around the supermarket. That's how good it is. Your body's, and it'll say, no, you'll just be guided. Say, okay, walk around, try conscious shopping. And let your higher self guide you. Okay, which one should I take? And your higher self will tell you which tomato to pick, which thing to eat. It's amazing. And I have never missed it. It was like I never smoked. I don't think about it. It's literally like I never smoked. It's the most bizarre thing. I didn't have one craving. I didn't have any problems. It was the easiest I've ever done. And before, it was a mission to stop. And I've stopped before, 2 years. It was not, and I said I don't want to gain weight because normally when you stop smoking, wow, you gain a lot of weight, woman. And I did before. I had stopped smoking before, and I lasted 2 years, but I could not shake the weight. I gained quite a bit of extra weight, and I could not shake it. It drove me mad. And I was okay, now bugger that. So I started smoking to lose the weight. This time I used my intelligence. I worked with my body, which is smart, and my higher self. And I didn't have any problem. Amazing, huh? So do that. Understand your body really listens to you. Yeah, and what you believe and what you say. So it's the same as like Dr. Bruce Lipton does a lot of work. Biology of belief. It's proven. Yeah. And Joe Dispenza. Your body listens to what you say. People are curing their own cancers and diseases. The same thing. There we are. Go and follow Dr. Joe Dispenza. Amazing. People are curing themselves. And same with that. You can get rid of that. It's a belief. It's a belief. If your belief is so strong that you're going to get this problem and that problem because that's what you've been told or your parents believed, that's what will happen, you see. So, I didn't really get much of a problem with menopause. There we are. So, not really. Some people have no problem, and some cultures have no problem. You see, it's what we've been taught in the West, and marketing and telling you, and and this is what's going to happen. Some civilizations, a woman, how come they have no issue with menopause? Yeah. No problem. Dr. Joe Dispenza, you can cure it yourself. Yeah. Go and follow Dr. Joe Dispenza. Many people have cured breast cancer, serious cancers. He's even got a channel on YouTube you can go and follow where they're sharing their testimonies. Doctors which were terminally ill. Many people are doing this meditation, and you've got to do it every day in belief. It's consciousness. And he's written a book on it, Dr. Bruce Lipton. Amazing. Many people are doing this. It's energy and consciousness. Your consciousness really determines everything, and your belief. It's belief, how deep that belief and determination is. See? But if you say, yeah, I'll do it, but then do it for me, you've got to show up. You've got to put the work in. And I was that trying, but I got so fed up, and then I was, okay, I'm going to do it now. I really want to stop. And I meant it. And there we are. Yeah, you must see what it really works. I'm not joking. It really, really works. So many people. If you listen to their stories, you'll know. You'll know. You're welcome. It's amazing. Your consciousness has control over your body. You do, and it listens to you. So if you expect the same thing. Yes, I know. Well, I had my ass kicked around the neighborhood a bit. I've been going through a huge clearing and purging. Wow. So there's a group of us that have gone through it, and we're coming out of it now, and then the next group will start going in, and that's why I'm on here, just to give people a heads up so they can know how to navigate it and don't think it's them, and it can be very scary. You can give in to fear. So do not give in to the fear. Do not give up. You might be tempted to give up and like, oh well, just it's like, and throw the towel in on everything. Nah. Thank you. And you too. Yeah, it's nice to be on here. I must say I miss everybody, but it's been, well, very, very, and I'm physically just, now it's rest. This week is like rest. Now I'm going to now it's leaving the body, because it's also recalibrating, and I did ask them to look at the brains, the neurons, the wiring of the brain, to rewire the brain. Yeah, it's been a very difficult time. Because you don't want negative thoughts, you don't want to have a negative outlook on life. And watch what you say and how you see the world. Even what's going on now is a very good indication, where you like, oh, you see this and that, that whole, yeah, there. There we are. We're staying with it. We're not going to manifest. We're not helping the world, because then we're keeping this in the collective consciousness. So you're not doing yourself or anybody a favor by, as Abraham X says, focusing on what's already manifested. Yeah. No, it's not what you say, it's what you think. Sing out. See, you can say, keep your mouth quiet, but if your thoughts is energy, your belief, you can say one thing but believe and feel another. That's it. That's the problem, you see. Yeah. There we are, exactly. I know, so was I. But then I got my ass dragged down to the lower thing, and I was like a tennis ball. I got an ass kicking of note. There was such shit in there that I had no idea. And I was up there and manifesting and the energy, exactly. I had an ass kicking. Wow. This was a tough one, let me tell you. Some big purging. And really got into the doctors was having lots of fun with me, boy. And then you're being terrorized. And fear's having fun with you, and your nervous system is going, and you can't sleep. Oh no, it's really unpleasant. So there we are. That's why I shared those things to help people. They really do help, actually. There's one Chinese man, he's a master, he's very good. That man's health, stories about health is amazing. It's got so much useful stuff. I mean, we've forgotten. It's been passed down since he was a kid. He went for training. So he studied with some master that taught him all these things that we've forgotten. All the Eastern medicines about this and all the meridians and the energy points. I follow a lot of his stuff. He's amazing. Incredible old man. Wow, he's got so much knowledge. It's quite something else. Yeah, you're welcome. Very, very welcome. That's why I'm doing this. I'm sharing because I'm hoping it'll help people. So when you go through a hard time, or if you get terrorized or fear, don't give in. Call on the angels if you have to. Ask them to put, a thing around you so you can sleep, focus light, because you're going to go through some fun, especially if you've got a lot of stuff to work on. So you can get frightened. Don't let it over, but don't give up. Don't let it over, You obviously know you've got to go through the process, but don't let fear get the better of you. You can fight it off. Just tell it, or there's the thoughts and the mind and all the, what it's. Oh, and can it be nasty? Let me tell you. You listen to this and you're just like, all right, next, and you can actually laugh sometimes. I even laughed at some of the things that were going through my mind. I was like, all right, yeah, sure. Next, all right, skip that one. What? Wow, dark shit. Really, your mind can come up with some really dark shit. Wow. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You think, good Lord, I don't want this shit. You want to train that monkey, because if you let that thing off its leash, it's bloody nasty. And that's what the Buddha say. Untamed mind that's what Buddha says, is the most dangerous. It's your enemy. It's your biggest enemy. It is true, because it'll bring you. Because what it's thinking and saying and believing, it's gonna bring it to you. It's creating. That's the ego. It will create what we did on the planet, hell on earth. Humans, we all did. Yeah. Noisy, nasty little bugger. Can get nasty when noisy. You just think, oh. And now you can understand why we had such a terrible, if you think past or history. Because, look on what that thing got into some real, dark places, isn't it? But it's paranoid, it's fearful, it's negative, it expects a negative, it's So, yeah, well. So you definitely want to get mastery over the mind. That is the most fundamental thing you can ever do. If you want to help yourself, master over your mind. Your life, your health, your entire... You will manifest heaven on earth. You'll be in heaven and not in hell. But that's what I'm saying. The anxiety, that means you are not, that's the ego. You're not transcending the mind, because when you transcend the mind, when you're in that state of, in that complete presence, there is no anxiety. All these negative feelings, emotions, energies come from the ego. It's a lower state of consciousness. This is what you pull down. It's a lower, you're on a lower chakras, lower energy. Yeah. Because you are it's going to come out. And that's why, as I say, if you watch what you think and what comes out your mouth, then it's like, wow. Because then you understand that's what's in you. just a mirror. But sometimes we forget, you see, when you're in the lower consciousness, you forget, oh, that's actually a reflection. No, no, no. It's not, because we think, yeah, but that's how it is. You see, it is. That's the world. That's how things are. But they are because you're saying that, and that's what you expect and believe. The universe will back it up. Okay, you think the world's this and that, and so it is. And I'm like, no, 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 I don't want to live in a world like that. No, no, change the station. Give me heaven on earth. Where's new earth? There we are. Moo. Manifest moo. I want to see moo. So if I visualize moo and project moo, guess what? As within, if I feel that and have that peace and I'm in within me, I'm going to shift. And the world outside will reflect what I have and feel inside. Feel. You see? And you will only feel that if your mind is, you know, in that place as well. Yeah, I know. So I'm saying, it's that monkey. If you let that thing off its leash, wow. It's dangerous. Man, it's like, wow, I can make trouble. And because if you understand, you manifest. It's creating. You know, no, I want to create that. Come back here, you little bugger. Put the leash back on. You know. Sorry. Okay, no problem. Type away. Yeah. Or you can join me if you want to ask a question. Yeah, no, well, I tell you what, if anyone knows about being terrorized by the mind, I'm an expert on that. I can tell you that. Wow, I was terrorized by my mind so badly for a bit when I went on this medication and it went wrong. One of the partly, who knows, well, that was part of it, mainly how I actually died, left the planet and came back, whatever, was that issue. Was one of the rare side effects, you know. Not so rare side effects, but I went through that, and it damaged the mind or the brain, and it caused so much trouble. My mind terrorized me, literally. I was in a state of trapped in it. It's like anyone goes on these acid trips or bad, people take drugs and they go on these trips where they you know, whether it's ayahuasca or whatever, but when you go on a bad one where it's like a trip from hell. Now this is what happened to me, but with pharmaceutical medication, prescription medication. For 2 years, people, I didn't even go out my house. I couldn't even leave my own house. You have no idea what it is I'm saying. If you want to know what it's like being trapped, it's like being stuck on and these people go through, like, say, a terrifying drug, you know, what they say, a psychedelic trip, right, a really bad trip. It normally lasts 48 hours, or sometimes people, like, you know, have a real problem. They say it goes wrong and it affects them for a lifetime. Well, try having it extended for a year. Constantly. Oh my hell. I don't wish it on anybody. I mean it. I don't wish the worst, no matter what the person's done. I don't wish it on anybody. It's the most horrendous thing to experience. Okay. Well, both actually depends. It also depends on your intention. What do you ask? If you ask for, say you're doing a healing, right, and you're going back to, say, a past life, and say you died. I'll give you an example to give you an idea. It depends how much there is to clear. So how much is going to trigger you? Because I've gone back to childhood things. They just show you back. So you say there's something like it came up with me. What was it now about not being there for yourself, right? And then you were like asked to see where does this shit come from? You know, why? So you can clear it. And then you will get taken back, and I was taken back. So you kind of see, you can see like in clips or shorts, little bits was a movie, depending on each clearing, how much needs to be done or what you need to know or see. So then I went back, and you're like, okay, so it was your parents, and then it wasn't them, and then this and that. Oh, yeah. Or you can, as you say, view it above. You watch yourself being bullied, and you think, wow, because now you need to love that. You can have compassion, say, for the younger version of you. Like me, why did I have some fun when I was a kid? But we all, actually, I went through, you chose to go through serious resistance, or, you know, so you can, whatever. Yeah. So yeah, it builds you up, and then you stand there, you know, where you can be bullied or picked on or whatever enough when you're a kid. So it'll make you it toughens you up. But if you realize, you're like, wow, and you go back and you can see this poor child and you're viewing it from this child, then you actually have sympathy for the child. So it really depends on what you're clearing and what your higher self needs to show you and teach you love and compassion. So you realize, flipping hell, as a child, did you really, you know. So then you can have love and compassion for that younger you, and you understand. You see. So in that aspect it does. In other aspects you might see it like me. No, but that's what I'm saying. The trigger is there for a reason. Because if you keep trying to push it away and not look at it, it's not funny. It's not scary if you look at it. That's what I'm saying. It's very important that you do. You ask them to show you because it needs to clear. And when you go, so here we are. You're trying to avoid it, which is really bad because it's going to get worse. If you try and not look at something, if you get triggered, it just gets bigger and worse and worse. And then it's going to come bang if you like it or not. See, so what you do is ask them to show you very clearly. They know they're not going to upset you. They're not going to terrorize you. That's not how the higher self works. Ask your guides and your higher self to show you very nicely what it is you need to learn, that you need to heal and clear. And they will show you. So now you'll understand what lesson was in that. You see? And it's not actually, if they show the way you see it, ask them to show you from the highest perception and perspective. So ask to view it. That's the best way. Because then you're viewing it, as you say, from above as source. And there's no feeling. You're watching it as though the movie, but there's no emotional attachment. So you see what's happening. And you're like, oh, wow. But you understand why it's happening without the emotion. And then it's so easy to release. See? But if you're avoiding the triggers, you're frightened. Think of it. I explained, here's something for you to help you go through this one, right? Deal with emotion like I explained on my TikTok page when it comes up then. Because you're going to get triggered, right? And thank that. And I explained it. Someone asked me about anger. Go to my TikTok page and you'll see I answered someone's question about anger. And this is the same way you must view your trigger. Fear, anger, hurt. It comes up, right? You're going to get triggered because it's trying to tell you, hello, you've got some shit here. It's your perception. You perceived it as wrong or frightening, and this is where it's stuck. The energy is stuck there. It's because everything's neutral. It's our choice to perceive something as negative or positive. There is no negative, actually. It's just from a lower conscious, oh no, that's bad or that. So we choose it, and now it's stuck with you. So now you got to let it come up. Whenever you get triggered, let it come up and thank it. Because all it's doing is an energy. So whether it's fear, whether it's anger, whatever that emotion is that comes up for you, let it come up. Say, oh, okay, I see you grief. I see you anger. I see you fear, whatever it's. Thank you. I feel you. I see you. Thank you. Thank you for bringing the message to me. Letting me know that there's something I need to heal or clear. Thank you. I honor. I feel you. So talk to the energy as an energy. Treat fear or anger, whatever that trigger is, right? Whatever the emotion is that's coming from you, treat it as a individual. It is conscious. It's energy. It's a messenger. So say, okay, fear, thank you. I see you. I recognize. All right. Thank you for letting me know there's something I need to look at. Because it's bollocks. That's why. Because your source, you have nothing to fear. It's just a perception. You haven't cleared it. So allow it, and then you say, okay, thank you. I thank you for the message. And you acknowledge and thank it. Now I release you. And watch. That energy is gone. That fear, anger, whatever it is, you speak to it like that and you release it, it will leave. Now the energy, the feeling is gone. Now you can address or go and look at whatever it was without any feeling. You understand? So now you've eliminated the fear and the emotion out of the picture. You can see it from the higher perspective and heal and clear it. Oh, okay, all right. I always ask them to show you from the highest perception and perspective. So you understand why. Oh, okay, I looked at it like that. Or, okay, it was a lesson. Or, remember, you chose these things. Yeah, just how we handle it. We chose to handle it, That's all. Oh. And there's no one fits all, because every thing that you clear is going to affect you differently, or have different energy stuck, or memories, or some of it doesn't shift because you don't realize. Because if it's coming from a previous life, sometimes when you left that life, you didn't learn, you didn't understand, you just moved on. If you leave the body without resolving it, right? Yeah. Well, there's another one. You see, there's no such thing as past. They're all parallel lives. So they're actually all happening now. They're not actually you. Technically, they're not you. They're a fractal of your higher self. So when you're seeing that, it's just relevant to now. Yeah, okay, so it's, never mind. It's just going to get too complicated. So treat it as a past life. That's fine, yeah. So something there you need to clear. Or go for a past life regression, or go speak to Michelle. She'll help you if you want, clearing or hearing or whatever. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's obviously, there is a connection there, as you wouldn't be seeing it. If you need some help, if you're not doing it yourself, you can ask. So maybe you just, I don't know, maybe there's a block there. There's a woman that I did an interview with on my YouTube channel, Michelle Carpenter. And under that video, I've shared links to her. Now she'll help with past lives, family, grieving, this and that, trauma clearing, whatever. She's a good, she can channel, she can see where the energy's stuck in you. She'll work. So if you feel drawn, as other people as well, you can contact her if you want help with working through this or working out what it is or something. So if you go to my YouTube channel, go look up Meet Michelle, I'll go to the description and there's links there for her as well. Okay. But I mean, here's something, right? I had a problem, and many of us will go through this. About halfway through this process, all of a sudden I started having digestive problems. Actually, most of this, I've had quite a lot of digestive problems in my life because it's just where the energy was held and troubles, right? I had issues with my my stomach. And for a minute I thought, oh dear, I'm developing, some problem, or serious issue, because I started having serious problems with my intestines. And I was like, no, not ulcers. I thought maybe I was getting cancer or something was wrong there. Anyway, I started having big problems there. And I thought, something's gone wrong. But then I also heard somebody else, and they were talking about kidneys. They thought they had kidney stones. So I was like, no, maybe. Anyway, so I asked. It was an actual. So I did ask and found out it wasn't anything wrong. It was actually a healing and clearing that I was going through. But it didn't want to budge. So what I saw was I was stoned to death. They show you to clear this, right? So in a life or parallel life, I was stoned to death. And I hadn't, so I was like, oh, okay, that's what it is. So, now you've got to forgive and let go. So I was like, okay, right. But I tried to sort of rush through it. So I was, oh, okay, I see I was stoned to death. All right, no problem, thanks. So I sat there in meditation. All right, I didn't want to go, really go through it. So I was like, oh, right, I got stoned to death, whoopee. It's done and past. So what you're hanging on to, just let the shit go. So I was, oh, right, I forgive them, let it go, thank you. But it didn't go. It didn't clear. It kept some thinking, why won't this bugger off? So sometimes I go back, okay, what am I missing? So show me, what it is, very clearly, what it is I need to see and know. Obviously there's a lesson I didn't learn. That's why it leaves, if you have learned whatever it is, or you've shown you whatever the message is, it goes, I promise you, like the energy. If you say, okay, if the fear is up there to bring you the message, fear will leave. As soon as you acknowledge fear and say, thank you for bringing, okay, I see you, thank you, bye, or grief. I promise you, speak to it like that, and you watch that energy, it goes. So it didn't go. So I was like, okay, I've obviously missed something here, right? Now show me, okay, very clear in detail what it is I need to know and see, so I can heal and release this. And what I was taken back, I almost had to go back through it. So then I saw this woman and why she was stoned to death. I was like, okay, all right. So what happened? Why she was, me or whatever, was stoned to death. And then I saw all these people, I'm lying there, and I saw them throwing all these bowls and shit on me. mainly around the abdomen area. So it was around the stomach and abdomen area. Not a nice way to die. But you're not, you're watching it as a, now you're watching it from the soul's perspective, so you're not like the person now, you don't have to experience it from the person like lying on the ground, and you're watching as a third party, as the observer, as source. So you're watching them stone this poor woman to death and everything, and you see all these people. And what was interesting, you see, because I was angry with them. You didn't forgive them for obviously doing it. It wasn't fucking funny, was it? No. So, but when you see it from Source's perspective, I felt sorry for them. Then I could understand. It was like, oh wow. Because what I saw was a bunch of superstitious, paranoid, terrified people. Fear. In those days, oh, well, that's evil. Like they're told, whatever someone told you, someone said, oh, they're going to bring bad to the stupid, because, whatever. This one, superstition, fear, paranoid, we were. And, they used to walk around and, all kinds of shit. And so if you did that, or black cat, you must be a witch, what burn you, all kind of shit. They were absolutely, brought into the very low level of consciousness. So what I could see was from Source's perspective with these poor people, and you could see their level of consciousness. I mean, it was very low. Very low understanding and fear, and they were like, so they were like stoning this person to death because so I actually felt sorry for them. Wow, it was like, oh wow, shame. So now when I'm looking at it from a soul's perspective, I'm looking down and I'm feeling sorry for the people. Poof, gone, cleared up. Poof, problem gone. Yeah, no problem, and it was gone. There we are. So that's obviously what I didn't learn then, when I left the body or whatever died. I didn't learn or see that then, but now I did. You see? And you really think shame. They didn't know any better. They didn't know any better. They believed and they were terrified and paranoid, or this and that, whatever you did wrong, you're going to bring evil or whatever nonsense, and they're stoning you. I was like, okay, there we are. So you had love and compassion for them. Weird as it might sound. I don't know. Stress, something to do with it's a physical, so you got to look at it, energy. Because you got to get in the state of no mind, into that level of consciousness. So there's no resistance, and then all that healing can come through. But that you've got to transcend the mind if you want that healing to come through. Literally, like pass into that state of no. Where is it, Kundalini? So I'm not sure. You can go and you can, as I say, there's a few people you can ask for readings. Or healing, clearing, and let them see why and do it and work on it for you. Depends on your belief. You see, it depends on your belief. What you believe, don't believe in anything negative. It's not good for you to believe in anything. You have control over you can heal your body. You have complete control over your physical vessel, no matter what. But you've got to stay out of that state of mind, non-resistance, to channel that energy through you. So in that heart pure coherence, then you can heal anything. If you allow it in, no resistance, and relaxed, and allow it to come through you. You can find out. I would get a reading and find out, and healing and clearing, and what's behind that. There's something behind that. Anyway, well. So, any feeling comes up, address the thing as though it's a individual. Address fear or address hurt as an actual person or being, and see the difference. Because it's only a messenger when it comes up in you, because it's showing you, it's trying to get your attention. You got fear, yeah, which is, your choice if you want to. So you obviously is viewing something with a negative perception or fearful perception. That's why it's generated that. So all there are is messengers to say, you got a screwed up belief here, or nonsense you haven't let go of, or hurt you haven't released here. They are messengers showing you, hey, you need to release the grief. You got a rubbish belief here. You need to let that go. Do you want to carry on being frightened because is it benefiting you? No, not really. All right. So change my perception and don't see it like that. And there we are. And change it. and it will change. Then change that. It's how you perceive. You've obviously perceived something or have a fear-based belief to experience that, you see. There's some healing and clearing you need to do within yourself to release that. Okay. Because those just manifest, that they all come from within. You're creating it all. So it's stuff you've manifested, believed, feared, hang on to. It builds up. So the more shit we've hung on to, the bigger the fear is, whatever. It manifests as an entity or thing or whatever it is as well. They manifest as things as well. Stuff you've dragged around, you believed some nonsense, you allowed it in because you believed it. We have to accept it or believe things to allow it in. Fear, yeah. You've bought into some fear-based belief which doesn't benefit you. You've obviously allowed something in or bought everything you believe, you create. Because you say, okay, well, I've chosen that as my truth and my reality, and the universe will provide you. Even if it's not a pleasant truth, it's going to give it to you. Boy, here we are. This is what you believe, and you can have it. Nothing has power over you. Nothing. No one. Don't choose to a negative belief, because then you're allowing it in, because you're saying, okay, I believe this can do that to me, I believe that can do this, and so it is. See, literally you have the power as the source, as the creator, to create any experience you want. And this is why the Buddhas say an untrained mind is dangerous, because when you haven't tamed your fears, your lust, your anger, all your shit, you can create heaven or you can create hell. And that's what you will experience. If you go to my TikTok page, it's easy. If you go to my TikTok page, under my bio, under my name there's a little link tree. Click on the link tree. There's a YouTube channel. Click on the YouTube link. It'll take you straight to YouTube channel. Right. They're there. You've got to change your belief. First of all, nothing has power over you. You got to wake up to that one, and literally it doesn't, because everything is equal to you. You are part of Source. I'm a part of Source. Everyone's a fractal of Source, so not one has more power than you. So you got to raise your frequency and vibration. Firstly, if you believe anything can do anything to you, you are saying, oh, I believe you can bully me. So so then you're basically saying, you're opening the door to anyone that wants to play. Then there are some energies out there that are not nice, and they want to, let's go and terrorize him for a bit. Do you see? That's all it is. Nothing and no one has power over you. Only if you have bought into a belief that they can do this and that can do that and that, and a lot of people believe it because they're working their way through. They're working their way through lower realms and lower consciousness. They believe something can attach to them and do this to them and do that to them. That's it, and it will. So of course they're going to believe it, because it's going to be validated, because it will happen. You see, I've got this and this happened to me and I was attacked by that. But that's a belief. And if you want to carry on playing, you can play that as long as you want. It's nothing to do with positive vibes. It's got nothing to do with positive vibes. It's you. You have to. All that energy and all that power is within you. So I don't know if you're doing this, but you need to sit down. If you haven't, start working. Call on the angels and things. And I've shared videos and I've gone through this a long time ago on videos on YouTube. If you go further down, when you first wake up, I went through all of that. All of those dark lower chakras, the red, the base, the root, all the nasties and all those things that manifest in the astral. I went through all those. So describe it in the fun. You'll get to wake up. You'll get tired, and then you'll be like, screw this. I don't like this anymore. So now you get enough. Sometimes you want to play, you want to fight the things as well. You get tired of fighting. And then you'll be shown that's not the way to go. It's duality, you see. Don't say things like that to yourself, you see. What you say is what you are creating. So don't say bad things like that, because you say that, You are manifesting and you are enforcing I'm defeated. So the universe is going to, okay, well, then let's give her more of that energy. Ask, rather, sit there and ask the angels. Ask them to say, please ask me. Sit here, let's do a little exercise, all right? For those of you that are having this thing. All right. Oh, glad that helps. Okay. Sit there, call, ask. You can ask. You really got to ask for help and mean it. Say, please help me. Ask source, ask your higher self to take your hand and not let go and guide you through this process. Say, please help me. Ask them for protection. You can visualize it if it makes you feel safe. You can visualize, ask the angels to please, for those of you who are feeling shitty, ask them to flood you with a feeling of love. Say, please, I need, you know, you need that, you need pampering and a bit of TLC. So you can call in your guides and angels and ask them, just say, please, I need some, you need some TLC, some tender loving care. And ask them just to pour in that love so you feel love and safe, and it will come in. You sit there and you see, it's always what you ask is given, only you blocking it stops it. You sit there and it will bloody come, I mean it. When you're feeling so shitty and you're not resisting it, you're like, just help me, please. And you allow it in, and you open to it, you will see those angels will pour that energy, you will feel it. You'll feel it. You'll feel so loved. All of a sudden you start feeling love. You're feeling this awesome to put you in, surround you in a bubble of pure bubble of, and you can visualize light of love. Okay. Or same thing, visualize, being wrapped in their arms, in the angel's arms, and you're sleeping. Visualize you putting in this safe, you're holding this angel wings. You're completely surrounded and kept safe in these things and held there, and you'll sleep like that. See, it really works. I mean, I went through that when I first woke up. Man, it was some real bumps in the night I had to go through, many of them. And fighting all kinds of shit. You didn't know any better then. Like, this is not fun. So yeah, I did protection. I used to put a thing around myself and then ask the angels. And I had Archangel Michael standing at the head of my bed every night. Ding, watching over me. Put a sphere. I used to have all this stuff and whatever. Man. I did all those things in the beginning, you see. So you need it because you're on a lower frequency. What you're holding in you, hurt, fear, anger, this and that, you are attracting. So if you have fear, guess what? You're attracting predators. They're going to want to. Right, I'm a victim. Ooh, there's a victim. Let's go and, he wants to be a victim. So when you're holding things like I'm a victim, fear, all these, you are sending that signal and belief out to the universe, to anything that wants to play with you. Ooh, let's go and terrorize him. You see, you didn't realize this, yeah? You have to overcome it. I meet you, I get fun, screw this nonsense. Yeah, there we are. But ask them. Meditation, mindfulness. On my YouTube channel, all the benefits of transcendental meditation. There's a video there, and under there's all the links you need. Mindfulness. I share lots of stuff on my page, guidance and people to follow, screenshots of videos that'll teach you all about this. I share tons of things, videos to listen, people to follow. That'll all help you, guide you through this, And everyone will resonate with different things, you see. So yeah, ask. That's what they're there for. You got to call for help and ask for it and mean it. Mean it. And if you mean it and keep at it, it will be given to you. I mean it. Yeah. Because you're newly awakened. So you're obviously waking up now. You're starting to see beyond that. And if you haven't learned your power and you haven't done your own healing and nonsense, worked out through your shadows or beliefs, it's negative beliefs and things, then you're going to, you see. Then you're going to, because we were taught to fear everything that's in the dark. We didn't know, we were not taught you had power. You were not ever, as a human on this planet, by any other human, told that you had power over anything. And you got nothing to fear. And these things can't attach to you. We were told, ooh, they're scary, they're this, they're going to do that, they're dangerous, oh, we got to fear this, and you're going to go to hell. We were feared to death on this planet. No wonder why everyone's shit scared of everything. So you were not told, hello, you are equal to the angels. You have as much power as any angel has. Yeah, you literally do. There's no difference. As a fractal out of the body as source, you are no different. There is no difference. You are equal to that. But when you're in the body now and you've taken on many lifetimes of fear and belief and nonsense, your energy, your light is weak. You've got to expand your light, and that is your belief too, by clearing that. Nothing and nothing and no one has power over you. Claim your power. Stand there. Not in a state of fear and aggression. Knowing. Poof. And you'll see all of a sudden all those things will disappear. And nothing will bother you. Nothing. Literally. Yeah, work. It comes to work. It comes, you'll slowly, as you go through this thing, you go through phases, healing, clearing. Whatever you as a soul need to show first, it'll come up. And then forgiveness, big time. It's all inner work. As within, so without. So whatever you're experiencing in the outside means you're holding this there inside. Beliefs, fear, anger, hate, judgment, victimhood, whatever. See? That's all. I don't know where you are. So you can, I share tons of stuff, but now there's, yeah, the lower levels, the earlier stages are further down on my YouTube channel. When I first wake up, I went through the same. You'll see, just watch my videos, you can see a big difference. You're still very much in the ego. So when you first wake up, you've got lots of layers like an onion of the ego to clear. Yeah, then you've got a lot of clearing to do. Okay, no hate, no judgment, no fear. You've got a lot of work. You've got to release all of that. Yeah. There's a good person to go for to help you. Reading, healing, clearing is for you, Bobby, would be Michelle Carpenter. So if you go to my YouTube channel, I interviewed her a few weeks ago. You'll see, just down from the top of my videos, you'll see one that says Meet Michelle. And under that video, under the description, there's links there. So for healing, for speaking to past loved ones, seeing where the trauma is kept and heal the guides, whatever, you can see if you can get a session with her as well. Yeah, the ego, it's just layers of the ego. Woo. And it sheds, and it sheds, and it sheds. Forgiveness is the first thing you start with. First thing. When you start your path, you start with forgiveness of anything and everybody that's ever hurt you, intentionally or unintentionally. Starting with obviously the worst. Work your way down, you can remember, and generally whatever. And then yourself, big time, yourself. Forgive yourself. Don't judge or blame yourself. Oh, I shouldn't have this, that. Forgive everything. Forgive yourself. That's the number one stepping stone. First thing you start off. Yes. Yes, because you'll know when you do this. That's why I say, Bobby, go speak to Michelle. Maybe you'll speak to your mother. Or your son. Maybe your son will tell you why and what happened there, you see. Your son will explain to you why. There's a reason. They all have reasons. And they're not bad reasons. They're very good reasons, actually. So it could have been a karmic thing that happened there with him and whoever did that. It could have been, who knows, exactly. He was a lesson he chose to learn. A reason he chose to leave early to wake you up. I don't know. But grieving of loss and things like that, Michelle's a very good one for that. And connecting, dealing with that and loved ones. That's exactly what she specializes in. Perfect for that. So I would highly recommend her for you. Because she can do some resolution. See? There we are. It's very important. Nothing is an accident, ever. And before you're born, you see the whole life. You've set up a whole plan. So your son would have seen that he was going to die like that, and he knew it. He came in knowing he was going to leave like that. I know it sounds crazy, but it's not. And when you leave as well, your body, you're like, wow, and you see that what you experienced your whole life, it's mind-blowing when you see why, and you are happy with what you experienced. It was like, wow, that's amazing. It had a higher purpose. Your whole life has got a perfect purpose. It's got an absolute path. It's not just, oh, well, my God, and it's all willy-nilly. Not at all. Not at all. Yes. Yes. That's what I'm saying. It could have been ending a karmic cycle. It could have been a lesson. It could have been to teach that person forgiveness. Who knows? I don't know. That I don't know. And that you might not find out now until you leave. It's maybe the soul, maybe it won't. If you're not ready to hear it, you won't hear it. And it isn't your life, you see. So they don't normally disclose too much because it isn't your soul. It's not your right to know that soul's journey and why, actually. He might talk to you. If he wants to, if he thinks it's going to be good for you, beneficial for your highest good. If something's not going to benefit you, they don't tell you. You see? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's a very benevolent purpose these things happen. People don't realize it. It has a loving purpose. It's like, here's something for me. All the shit that I experience in this life, guess what? It's taught me absolute compassion and understanding and empathy. So your suffering, out of suffering that you go through, teaches you, if you hopefully wisened up there, especially many lives, it teaches you compassion, understanding and empathy. It really teaches you compassion. So your suffering gives you the wisdom, empathy, and compassion to help others. You see, it's amazing. So if you haven't been through the shit, how would you be able to help and guide and have the wisdom or anything to help other people? You wouldn't. That's why everything has a divine purpose. Absolutely. It teaches us more love. It teaches us more understanding. It teaches us compassion. You look at things. We can choose to look at something from a higher perspective or a lower perspective. If you ask them to show you, so if you sit quietly and you're really honest, if you really want to know the truth, you can sit there and ask them to show you the highest perception and perspective of why that happened. And you'll see. Why? For you, relevance. Because your son it is a relevance in everyone's life, right? So your son's relevance is his relevance, is a reason why. But for you, why you had to experience that, ask them to show you the highest. For the highest, please ask, but mean it. Sit on your bed like a little prayer. And ask them to say, please show me from the highest perception or perspective why I experienced that. Why I chose to experience that in this life. And you will see. Okay. It's amazing. It's incredible. Your soul is amazing. It always does things from a very loving, much higher perspective. Things happen. And it would blow your mind when you actually realize, you're like, wow, how I would never have thought of that. It's so relief. It gives you so much release when you see it and you understand. You're like, oh my gosh. You would not even begin to figure out, you would like, oh wow, I would not have thought of that. It's amazing. So if you have a battle, or if you want to just maybe speak to your son or something, you can contact Michelle. Okay. And she can do some for you. Speak to your guides, or if he wants to come through, you can sort that out with it. Make some closure there with him if you want. There we are. If that's needed or whatever. All right, people. I'm a little bit tired. As I say, it's been physically also. I'm like, wow. You're very welcome. You'll be amazed. I mean, like me, I was like, wow. But it has given me, if you can walk away from something, it gave you a lot of suffering, so a person, and still be able to have compassion, not have any bad intent, wish them well, have sympathy or love and compassion, then you've aced the lesson. And you've cleared yourself of karma too. Because when you won't forgive and forget and hang on, you can guarantee that you have changed yourself, and the next life you guys are going to be coming back for round 2. Where you might be the victim, victimizing that person, and they'll hate you, and the next life and this is a vicious cycle of karma, of cause and effect, cause and effect, cause and effect. Oh, I'm going to make you suffer now for what you did to me, and I'm going to make, this just goes on. Because we will not forgive, we choose not to see it from the higher perspective. And this is why the forgiveness and letting go is like so vital. Because why would you want to suffer 2 lives of that? I'm like, screw this, I'm not going to do any more of that shit. Whatever I did, I want to sort it out now. Because you also know, if you've had a hard time, sometimes generational of shit. So yeah, you've got some karma and generations and shit to clear, family and yourself and whatever. I know it's law of attraction, energies, and look at all these things we took on. We didn't forget, we didn't forgive, we got whatever. The mind, negative fears, beliefs, thoughts, the perception. We see the world. We choose to see the world as not a nice place, and so it will not be a nice place for us. You're welcome. Yeah, it's come from the school of hard knocks we came through. Literally. I mean, wow. I was blown away, actually. And it took me complete breakdowns. I mean, physically, mentally, this, that. Well, and then actually dying as well. To see, why. This lifetime, never mind the other one. Why. I was like, wow. I was mind blown to see why I experienced what I did in this life. My soul, you were never a victim, eh? You were never a victim. Why my soul chose to experience what I went through. I'm like, geez. And why? Look at it's given me such compassion, understanding, love, empathy. And so you want to help others. I'm able to use what I went through to help others, guide them, and whatever. It's amazing. I don't know. It's a choice. Yeah. It's quite mind-blowing. You're like, wow, okay. I laughed actually when I found out. I was like, holy shit. Really? That was something else. And wow, there was not pleasant experiences. I mean, it made you want to actually leave, to take your own life. You can tell it wasn't a pleasant experience, I promise you. So I'm like, I'm not doing that one again. But then, there we are. Who knows? You just, as I say, wisdom teaches you to want to end it. You want to end the karmic cycle, forgive people. Please do that. It's so important. Forgive everybody and anything and everything. Let it go. Let it go. Free them. Wish them love. Wish no one harm that harmed you, so you don't have to come back, and let's play this little game, and next life I'm going to bully you and you're going to whatever. Because if you understand, as the Buddhists say, the good mind, loving kindness, was only put out loving kindness because you are only digging your own, basically grave. That's what you're doing. What you send out is exactly what you're going to get back. So don't hate. It's not worth it. If you've been through enough, then you actually understand what suffering they've been through. You've got to understand someone that can do something that horrible to you, if they do something really bad, are so tormented, they are so disconnected or so much in their own darkness or shadow or fear or hate, or they were traumatized, abused, karma, you see, to be able to do something. And this is what's happened on the planet, and it's eye for an eye, and it's gone on and on and on and on and on. Oh. And look where it's got us. Look at the darkness. This is why it's looking so bad out there now, because this is what's happening. It's the death of the ego. It's the humanity, and everyone is facing the death of the ego, the dark night of the soul. So everyone's facing their darkness is coming up. And is it coming up? Look outside, all over. So our darkest, whatever we want to see, is coming out. Our shadows is coming, The ego, is self-destructing. So the dark will get like completely out of control, and the light's going to, the two extremes. There we are. Put it that way. Really, that's all. Hello, hi. All right, beautiful souls. I hope that was of help to anybody. Just hang in there and just know whatever your mind, what you see, even you see in the astral, is not literal. You cannot be harmed. Okay, it's all a belief. And don't let the mind, don't believe, and don't play the victim. Nothing has power over you. All right. And ask for help. All right, ask for help. It's there. It's there. It's there. Nothing. See, that's also a belief. It's hard to overcome. We watch what we say, because literally, your words, your thoughts, you as what's the name saying? That creating the world, spoken into being, literally. So watch. So you're going to start. You've got to train the mind into thinking positively. What we say, This is the whole thing of it. As the Buddha said, then control the mind, master the mind. And if it's a negative mind, negative thoughts, we create a horrible life for ourselves and the whole planet. See? Let's not do that. It's not fun. I promise you, it's not fun. I'm like, no, I don't want to go down that hole. You can create, literally you will create hell for yourself or heaven for yourself. So don't create hell for yourself. And Dr. Joe Dispenza does a lot of work in teaching you, he speaks about reprogram the mind. It's 30 days. That's why I say to people, do affirmations. But then like I learned, now all those affirmations, I had stuff, I did all those. But I didn't realize I had stuff from my childhood that I hadn't healed and cleared. So it was blocking me. I didn't know that. So when this stuff came up, I was like, because I'd done a lot of, look at my TikTok page about self-love, about self-worth and motive, and I was giving all these, and I really had that. So yes, the mind was there, but I'd had frequencies I hadn't cleared or let go of stuff from childhood. So this frequency was going out there, but then I had a contradictory one that I was completely unaware of from childhood that was it was sabotaging it. You see? So it's not manifesting, and you couldn't understand why, because you're happy, your frequency is happy, you're positive, your thoughts are this and that, but there is underlying things that aren't clear. And when they come up, I was blown away. I had no freaking clue. Now you really can then, it also teaches you love and compassion for yourself, because then you realize, you look back and you see what your little child, the little you went through, you really feel sorry for yourself. You can actually have love and compassion for yourself, because you think, flippin' hell, that was, your poor little, you as a little kid really had a hard time, That was really not nice. So that little child really had a bloody hard time, and nobody was there. So now you are able to have love and compassion. So understand your family and parents, this is what I'm saying. It just cycles on and on. We got to stop it, or it's just going to keep going. And your kids will then, So we're breaking the planet's cycle of suffering. We're breaking your ancestors, everything. You're literally freeing all now. Trust me. It's worth it. Really worth it. All right, lovelies. You have a wonderful morning or evening or day, and I'll catch you next time. But I just need a bit of a rest. I mean, I have to take some physical time to recover. It's been a real rough clearing, this one. Bye.